The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports.
Fielded right around the 8. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
They'll start the drive with Elliott. Right away, they rack up 10 yards on their first play from scrimmage.
Big article in the paper this morning talking about how they wanted to get chunk plays in the run game. Well, early on, there's a good one.
There isn't for guys on defense. They've got to remember the old adage. You've got to meet force with force, and if you don't, you get run over, as they did on that last play.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
This defense for the Packers, they were terrific a week ago in that win over Detroit.
This defense certainly has a lot to be proud of coming off of last week's game, because when you only give up 14 points in a contest, you give your team a great chance to win. The best defense in the league is usually going to average giving up 18, 19 points a game. So to be under that, a terrific achievement.
That one, a first down pickup of 8.
They did tell us they wanted to establish the ground game early, didn't they?
They did, in a small sample size that we've seen so far, but pretty good return.
Yeah, you got to like that. They've strung together a couple of first downs, established what they wanted, the running game. And guess what? They also got their lead guy running it pretty well, too.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Against a team coming off a win, just as your team did the previous week, you talk about being physical all game long. Sometimes being physical is just being on the spot and helping force the incompletion.
On second down, Elliott. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
Prescott now from the 50. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Elliott. And he will have a Cowboys first down as he's able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 5. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
A first down carry by Elliott. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it.
Rashawn Gary, the man to bring him down.
And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle. That's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain. He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. And he fires one that's intercepted.
Well, it's no secret he's had trouble this year with interceptions, and this is a bad start for him. First drive, throwing another pick.
No matter who's broadcasting his game, that's how the conversation begins. Throwing too many interceptions. Can he take care of the football? If I were his backup, I'd be edging towards the coaches and saying, hey, how about giving me an opportunity?
A first down run by Jones, not going to work out as he's hit and dropped behind the line of scrimmage.
Sometimes you get all those big guys down there in one spot and there's just nowhere to go. And in this case, the defensive tackle used his strength and swallowed him up.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Again, it's Jones. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
third down. Here's Jones. And he will cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's fourth down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this third down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain.
So now on fourth down, Rodgers will give way to Mason Crosby for the field goal try. From the left hash, this from 46. The kick by Crosby is good, and the Packers are off to a 3-0 lead. So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Elliott running right. And able to use his stiff arm for a little bit of leverage before he's taken down. A pretty good gain.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. They'll try and run for it with Elliott. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll try to throw now. Prescott. He'll get this out wide here to Elliott. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Up the middle, here's Elliott. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. And this offense on 3rd down today, they've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. 10th carry now for Elliott. And able to pick up the first across midfield to the 47. 48 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 47. They go to Elliott again. And he picks up about 6 as he gets this down to the 41.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball. But when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. From the shotgun, a give to Elliott. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
This offense has converted 2 third downs on this drive already. This is 3rd and 4. Prescott now. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
They converted twice on 3rd down that drive already, but couldn't make it a 3rd. We always talk about in-game adjustments. How about what the defense did there, able to shut them down on that attempt?
And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. And that will tie us at 3-3. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And down right around the 32-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
They'll try and run for it with Jones. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down.
When a good play is made on defense, oftentimes leverage is the key to everything. Defensive line not getting turned, all the other guys making sure they're in the right spot, and on that play, they were able to stop them short of a 1st down.
Rodgers going to go on 4th down. And he is going to have a Packers 1st down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert. 3 tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10. On the counter, here's Jones. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. The Packers at 8-1 on the year. They have certainly got it rolling as of late, winners of 6 in a row.
And I think this is where, as a head coach, you show your team some trust. Instead of just talking about winning, the very next game, you point out to them, we're on a nice run here. And if we keep doing this, we'll be playing at home in the postseason. And we know that that could ride us all the way to the Super Bowl if we get that done.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Throwing now is Rodgers. Pass caught. It's Romeo Doubs. And he's going to have a Packers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Charles, to move the chains that time, they had to complete it into double coverage, and they got it done.
And it's never easy overcoming multiple defenders, but he sure made it look simple. Found the right spot to exploit and won his 1-on-2 matchup.
And a nice pickup there as he'll get about 9, and that will lead us to a stoppage here at the 2-minute warning. To throw again on 2nd down. Rodgers setting up the screen here. Aaron Jones. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play. And now we've got a 3rd and 4.
Well, it looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there, and they tackle him for a loss.
Here's Rodgers. Caught by Jones. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. A big play that time on the catch and run. 32 yards. The offense has to love that because that was just a dump down, and then he turned something out of seemingly nothing.
And the best quarterbacks understand that dumping it down is often a good play, a better play than even what was drawn up.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Osa Odighizuwa with the effort there to earn the sack.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. So after a rare misstep on this drive, they'll try to make amends on 2nd and 15. Another try after the first down sack. Rodgers, he sets up the screen to Jones. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
And when you're throwing the ball downfield really well like they have been on this drive, it's really a nice time to work one of the screen plays in. One of my favorite play callers in the game has always told me he starts every game with 10 to 12 screens because if he starts feeling the pressure from the defense, he uses their aggressiveness against them.
Rodgers looking to throw on 3rd and 2. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Aaron Rodgers, his 17th touchdown now in the season.
And the Packers will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half.
On is Mason Crosby for the point after. And it is up. And it's good. That'll make our score 10-3 now. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away.
Taken in at the 3. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
And with them trailing, there is still enough time to try to string a few plays together, maybe get into field goal range. He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
Picked off by Darnell Savage. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line.
An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. So after the INT, it's Rodgers. And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. And they weren't in zone coverage, they were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a defensive player of the year at the other, and they just locked people down.
The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1.
I spy a couple of extra defensive backs on the field for Dallas.
Cowboys in the dime on 3rd. Rodgers now to throw. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28.
A loss of 3 on the sack made by multiple defenders.
And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. And Crosby missed it. No good. Wide to the left for Crosby. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. So it's the Packers set to receive the kick. They've got the lead as well as we are underway in the third quarter. This one fielded at the 5. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And they got to be pleased with this. He brings it all the way up to the 40-yard line.
In a game like this, you're fighting, you're scratching, you're clawing, you're hammering away. That return has the feel of maybe cracking the rock and giving them a chance to get a big-time advantage.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They'll start at the 40, so great starting field position following the interception. The throw right side is complete here on the first play of the drive. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. It's a gain of 35.
They started this drive with terrific field position, and it's going to get even better after that play. Had great options with where they started, so they decided to press their advantage, and it paid off.
And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. And between the last two plays, they've moved it over half the length of the football field.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones are.
And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Aaron Jones. His 5th rushing touchdown now on the year. And the Packers have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Oh, I was just about to say he hadn't missed an extra point all season, but there it is. His first miss, no good. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They make their second half debut here, and things are looking a little bit tougher now. You give up the points there, Charles, that touchdown drive on the other side. So now it's a 2-score game here. Got to be careful.
They certainly do, and I'm just wondering at halftime if those guys just looked into each other's eyes and realized what they've got to get done and come out a little bit more charged up, because if they don't get some kind of points here, that next drive, that can make this a 3-possession game.
The offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit. And now after the delay of game, they're operating behind the sticks, 2nd and 15. Throwing, Prescott. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them. And they took advantage of it there, got a nice interception, and set up their offense in great shape.
Now a 1st down carry by Jones. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Here's Jones again on 2nd down. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. 54 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now. Jones going to take this down just short of the goal line. He got 3, but could not get the ball over the chalk. It'll be a 3-yard pickup, and it brings up 2nd and goal. They'll try and run it in with Jones. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Cohen is in. Touchdown, Packers. Able to punch it in on 3rd down makes it easier for those guys on the sideline. They didn't have a 4th down decision to make.
Yeah, could you feel the exhale? Because they were already thinking ahead, as all the good coaching staffs do. Anticipating, will we have to make the call? They already had it lined up, never even got to it.
Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. Should have been picked. Probably doesn't matter on a 2-point conversion, but still, as a former DB, you want to grab that ball when you can, don't you?
You certainly do, and don't say it, because I know you're thinking it. Don't say it.
What am I thinking?
You know I know what you're thinking. Well, if he'd had hands, he'd be playing on offense, right?
That's true. You've said that before. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Again, it's Elliott. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Cowboy 1st down. I don't know what this says about me, but I love successful runs up the middle when the blocking is so well executed like that.
And it doesn't matter whether it's zone blocking, whether it's a power scheme. When you have a blocker on a defender, and then the running back can read it, find the proper hole, and just go, sometimes a thing of beauty.
Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Now Prescott. That'll be taken in there by James Washington. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. A 1st down throw for Prescott. And that is incomplete. The coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
Another attempt, another incompletion, and when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points, And the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball.
They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. He stiff-arms him. This defense not budging. Back-to-back carries of just 2 yards.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
4th down, Prescott. And it's going to be batted down. It will go the other way with the football. The Cowboys here unable to convert on 4th down. And the Packers D comes up with a big stop. Even though they didn't get it, probably the right call. Too long for a field goal and just not a whole lot to gain from a punt there.
Yeah, you wouldn't have really netted very much yardage if you pumped the ball, right? And the thing about a field goal, and you know this.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And it's a big turnover there on the final play of the quarter. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They were coming off the extra week of rest, but this team started sluggish, and it really didn't get any better from there, and trailing big here in this 4th quarter. That was all Preston Smith navigating into the backfield. He gets the tackle for loss.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
Now a pass hauled in downfield. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. It's a gain of 35.
At this stage, there's nothing left to do but to keep firing. And if you're a play caller, you may go off your sheet and use some things maybe you hadn't planned to in this game. Maybe that was one of them there that worked.
Now a run on 1st down is not going to get off the ground as they will get him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 3. It seems like we have seen this a lot in his rookie year. A nice tackle for a loss.
And the more games he gets under his belt, the better he's gotten. And sometimes you're worried about rookies hitting the wall. Not in this case. This young man runs right through it.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And this is going to result in another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 12-yard line. Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the 4th. But a nice 1st down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution even though the scoreboard is going against you. You want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Prescott to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this 2nd half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
The offense on 3rd down, they've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 11. To throw is Prescott. Touchdown, Cowboys! Jake Ferguson, a 14-yard touchdown. And the Cowboys are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. Well, they needed 3 scores to have any chance. There's the first of the 3 as they get into the end zone.
Yeah, Brandon, I think that our guys at Next Gen Stats in charge of the win probability are probably saying your chances still aren't great. But now, you still got more than 3 minutes to go. You got to focus on the task at hand, which is going to be getting the football back as quickly as possible.
The Cowboys will line up for point conversion.
They'll let Elliott try and run it in. And he is not going to get in here. So the decision to go for 2 does not pay off as they're unable to cut any further into their deficit. The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They'll try and run some clock now with Jones. And he'll be brought down here at the 28.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Got a man, it's Tunyon. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. One heck of a 3rd down conversion, 33 yards. So the big play moves them all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. An inside give to Jones. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 63 yards on the ground for him so far. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Again, it's Jones. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. On 3rd down, here's Jones. And he'll only get this to about the 35, well short of the line to gain. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. So now on 4th down, Rodgers will give way to Mason Crosby for the field goal try. From the left hash, this will be a 52-yard attempt. And that is no good. He gave it a good run. That wasn't more than a foot or so wide to the left. And the lead will hold at 13. Now, Charles, all things considered, I guess that's not a critical miss at this stage, is it? No, but still everything helps when you're trying to finish off a ball game. And you're right, not critical in terms of the scoreboard and the team, but the guy with the golden foot, he knows he's only as good as his last kick. And not much happening there. He's taken down, but a late penalty flag in the backfield. Now, this looks like a roughing call. So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Here's Prescott. Oh, Prescott stripped. But I believe a Cowboy was there to get it. He was, and Dallas will maintain possession. Fortunate to get that football back, because trailing here in the 2nd half, last thing they needed was to lose the possession. And the word I think of here is opportunity, because it could have been lost there, their chance to score points. But the opportunity for the defense was to go ahead and really close this game down if they were able to get possession. And he'll be marked out at about the 26-yard line. Now Prescott. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. And the Packers are going to have it here just past the 25. For this defense, CD, that's kind of the icing on the cake here as we get to the end of this one. And didn't you feel that they weren't just going in a total prevent there? You know, they had the lead, and sometimes you fall back and you lose your aggressiveness. Not in this case. They were still making a play on the football, and look how that one turned out. They may have salted this one away. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now there's one time. Jones hit and the ball's out. But it looked like a Packer. Yeah, Packer was able to get this back, and they'll indeed keep possession. Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get them home. The next guy comes through and picks him up. And avoids the turnover. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
They'll go again to Jones. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. So it's all over. A Green Bay victory, and I think the game balls need to be destroyed.
Yeah, that my Brooklyn, go see Chirac, Southside, C12, 911.